Okay, that was pretty crazy. I just about died. So what is up? Welcome to the Prop Brothers. My name is Taiyuji, and today we are going to be talking about one of the few summer 2021 anime that I am currently caught up on. Now, I want you to think about every mistake that you have ever made, decisions in your life that you regret, and I want you to allow me to ask you this question. If you had the opportunity to redo the past 10 years of your life, would you do it? Well, this opportunity is presented to our main character Kyoya in the anime Remake Our Life. This is actually one of the better currently airing anime in my opinion, but I feel like it could have been so much better, which is kind of sad because it does a lot of things right. Remake Our Life is a great example of an anime that has great moments and has a good message, but is plagued with problems that some newer anime have. Just like how older long-running shonen had a lot of pacing issues and a bunch of filler, newer anime have their own set of issues, and we will go over those in this video, because Remake Our Life is no exception. But first, we should set the stage and talk about what Remake Our Life does right. Remake Our Life is an anime about a 28-year-old man who left his standard office job to chase his passion and get a job making video games. But unfortunately, even after a lot of effort, even after trying every job he could, directing, video editing, image editing, art assistant, sub-scenario writing, logo design, he realized that he ain't shit. So Kyoya runs out of money and is forced to go back to his hometown and move back in with his parents. After a day of going around looking for a new job, he notices a girl on a bridge and she does not look to be in the greatest mood. So he thinks that she might be attempting to jump off the bridge and he tries to save her. But we quickly figure out that this was a misunderstanding. And wouldn't you know it, the lady he was trying to save just so happens to be directing the creation of a pretty big video game, and she just so happens to need employees. So he just so happens to score a job at one of the biggest game design companies. Now if that ain't just a massive coinkydink. But you know what? I respect this guy. Kyoya starts working his ass off at his new job. He completely reorganizes the company's reference material room, people start relying on him at work, and his boss even says that there is a possible permanent job waiting for him after this current project. But after all of his hard work, one day the boss comes in, gathers everyone up, and announces that the project is being cancelled and everyone will no longer have a job. It seems very unfair, and it is a reminder that sometimes life is anything but fair. This man caught what seemed like a lucky break, he worked his ass off, and at the end he was again left with nothing. But then anime juice kicks in. So after losing his job again and returning to his parents' house, he looks at the two acceptance letters to two different colleges that he received 10 years ago. He believes that this was a pivotal moment in his life, that if he had just decided to chase his dream in the beginning and go with the art school instead of chickening out and going with the normal college, that everything could have been different. So he gets sent 10 years into the past to the exact moment that he first received them. And then the first thing he says when he wakes up 10 years in the past is, "Hey yo sis, you take my manga again?" "No, Oni-chan, I didn't take your stupid manga." "Well then, why am I missing 10 volumes of manga? And why is only the PS2 here? Where's my PS3? And why is there a Blockbuster movie here on my desk?" You know, all of these just outdated references. So this time he obviously chooses to attend the art college. And you can see all these bright, doughy-eyed students who got into the college of their dreams, ready to get the job in the field that they want at the end of it. And the professor comes in and says, "Okay, looky here, you chuckle f***. Who wants to be a sound engineer? Raise your hand. Okay, who wants to be a director? And who wants to be a singer? Well, guess what? None of you are going to make it, and you will all die never having achieved any of your goals." This was actually a pretty cool moment in the anime, and if that sounds weird, then let me explain. Most people have pretty unrealistic expectations in life, and this class was no different. The professor states that there were 135 students who graduated last year, then asked the class how many of those students got the job that they wanted. And the answer was only 8. Only 8 students out of the 135 students who graduated actually got a job in the field that they wanted. And this was actually more students than the year prior. Any job where your purpose is to entertain others is very difficult to break into, whether it be singing, dancing, video game design. How many people can actually make a living doing these jobs when it is not necessary to live? People need food, water, shelter, but they do not need to be entertained. So in other words, those jobs at their core are useless. So if you're going to make a career out of these skills, you need to be the absolute best at being useless. Which is real, and I feel like it's a great message. Life's tough. Get a helmet! Life is not easy. There is always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody stronger than you. And this is further cemented by a moment in class where Kyoya was thinking to himself how he was grateful that his roommates were all taking it so easy. This was somebody with 10 years of experience over everyone else. He had actual practice at multiple different tasks and knew that he could fill almost any role, and he felt good about himself. That is until he watches his sleeping roommate Tsurayuki, who had never been awake for a lesson yet, get asked a question, stand up, figure out what was going on, and instantly answer the question correctly. In this moment, Kyoya realizes that his experience doesn't actually amount to much. Yes, he worked multiple jobs and trained in many fields, but everything that he had learned was the bare minimum, and he had no solid fundamentals in anything. When he is feeling down and starting to believe that he isn't good enough, that he will possibly fail again, his roommate Shinoaki makes him realize that while these things are true, yes, there is always someone better than you. There is always someone stronger than you. But at the same time, the opposite is also true. She tells him about all of her shortcomings. She doesn't know how to cook and feed herself. She doesn't know how to keep her room clean. She doesn't know how to make plans and stick to them. But Kyoya does know how to do all of these things. And while there is a long list of things that Kyoya envies about Tsurayuki, there is probably an equally long list of things that Tsurayuki envies about Kyoya. She assures him that everything will be fine, and that he is good enough. Because there are even things that she is jealous of about Kyoya. The people who can't do anything are constantly looking for the things that they can do. So even the people that you think are amazing are just as worried as you are. At the end of the day, you just have to make sure to do the things that you can. Don't compare yourself to others too much, because we are all on our own journey and we all move at our own pace. These are both great moments and messages, and they both happen in the first episode. But there is another moment that happens in the first episode. The morning after Kyoya spends the first night in his dorm, he just casually wakes up to Hot Anime Girl. Yes, that is also Shinoaki, the same girl from the scene I just showed you, who proceeds to reach over in front of him, drink his yogurt drink, spill it on herself, and then trip and fall into his crotch. Which brings us to this anime's first problem, excessive fan service. Now, fan service has always been around, but I feel like it has been progressively getting worse over the years. Before, it was just an anime girl with a weird fashion sense, or the occasional, "Oh no, what are you doing walking into the bathroom while I'm changing, you sussy baka?" But nowadays, it's more of a check-in. It's something that is constantly thrown in to try to make sure you are still watching the anime. Well, guess what? If you have an interesting anime, you can rest assured that I am still watching. You don't need to have a girl come in from a completely different room while she was in the middle of changing to tell two characters that they shouldn't be having an argument. It feels so forced and unnecessary. It's weird. The least they could do is give it some bullshit anime logic like in Sister Testament or something like that. I don't know. Problem number 2 with this anime: pacing issues. Wow, that was really jarring, right? It's like there was no transition or segue to slowly ease you into my next topic, almost as if I was trying to make an example of what this anime does wrong. So adapting is hard. I get it, right? Turning a picture book into a bunch of moving pictures with sound is difficult, and I can definitely empathize. But I feel like newer anime are trying way too hard to get to specific points in the source material in a very short amount of time, which causes scenes like this, where one moment they are talking about how they are going to work on this project together because they all live in the same house, straight into, "Man, I can't believe we ended up at the same job. Wait, what? When did you guys get a job? What is happening?" And now you're just putting your tits on his head. Okay, I mean, I guess that's cool. Why has it become a trend to treat a light novel or manga adaptation like it's a speed run? How is it that the main characters were able to start their project, run into a problem, play the opening, solve the problem, have another group present, finish their own project, and present their own project all in 8 minutes? That even sounds complicated, just trying to explain that. It's okay. You can slow down. Maybe save some content for a season 2. Or you know, just make a season 2 at all. I'm looking at you, No Game No Life. Which brings me to my main issue with this anime. It's that even though there were so many problems with this anime, I am somehow still enjoying it. Despite all of its shortcomings, I am still having fun watching it. They had a school festival, and the final song at the concert was God Knows from The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Like, what? How can you not enjoy that? Yes, the animation was not anywhere remotely as good as the animation from Haruhi Suzumiya, and that anime was from 2006, but it was still cool to see. There were 39 new anime that aired in summer 2021, and I genuinely believe that Remake Our Life was one of the better ones. It's one of the more relatable animes that I've seen come out recently, and trudging through its problems to see the good moments it has, I believe it's worth it. In life, we make mistakes, we trip, we stumble, but when you truly have good intentions, I feel like that shines through in the end. And I feel like this anime has a message worth listening to. So if you watched the entire video, thank you very much for watching. It really helps us out. And if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like and comment down below, possibly subscribe. And just remember, you don't have to believe in yourself. Believe in me. Believe in the me that believes in you. And I'll see you in the next video.